Hello everyone, and happy International Women's Day. As a little treat, I thought let's cover a woman. There are many women throughout history, but I thought because this is a women's only day, let's cover a woman in the absurd category. And the woman we're covering today is Ulrike Meinhof. She is a special little political cookie. So if you do not know who Ulrike is, she is part of what is called the New Left. What is the New Left? Well, it's an idea that came after World War II, and mostly after Mao Zedong's Chinese victories. It changed and formulated a new sort of strategy for the left, mixing warfare strategies with Mao's guerrilla tactics with new ideas that came after World War II, such as the Frankfurt School and Gramsci. The idea of nation is no longer important. The important thing is to build up new sort of identities of women, for example, or homosexuality. It's sort of focusing on new things that earlier Marxist modernistic ideas didn't cover. For Meinhof, it was a bit different. So she's not known per se for her, let's say, progressive views. She's known for how she created terror. And the way this sort of strategy took place was with Meinhof's Red Army faction. Meinhof and a few others created a Marxist-Leninist organization in Germany who did exactly that. Bombing, kidnapping, assassinations, robberies, things like that, to hurt the capitalistic system in place right now, to weaken it for whenever there will be a larger conflict. And this went on since the 70s up until the 90s. And if you know German history, you know the massive amount of bombings made by communists. It was an epidemic. The way they justify this can be summed up by this quote by Gudrun Eslin, one of the creators of the Red Army faction. It states, "They'll kill us all. You know what kind of pigs we're up against. This is the Auschwitz generation. You can't argue with people who made Auschwitz. They have weapons and we haven't. We must arm ourselves." It was to fight sort of the system, a system in place which is benefiting the pigs, the capitalists. The idea was as well, if they didn't weaken it, then that system will become so large and just consume all of it, making so there's no chance in the future of a communist revolution or communist uprising to help the people. Alright, let's go back into Meinhof's life. How was someone like this created? Alright, she's born 1935. And she joined university in 1952. And during her time in the University of Münster, she met a Spanish Marxist intellectual named Manuel Sacristan. And there, she learned about Marxism and she started getting politically active. Political activism started with the involvement of nuclear weapons. The government during the time proposed that they should get involved with nuclear weapons, and this was something she was against, so her political activism started with. She joined the Communist Party of Germany in 1959 and started becoming a writer. And that was her career most of the time. She was a journalist. But the big change for Meinhof and for all the people that started up the Red Army faction was when the Shah, the Iranian monarch, came to Germany. When the Shah came to Germany, it was very violent. They started battling each other in the street. And this gave the idea that there was now fascism in the West. It wasn't a liberal democracy, it was fascistic. So they had to battle this idea. They had to battle the fascism of the West. They cannot surrender. They cannot let the West continue being fascist. So you need to fight this no matter the cost. I'm quickly just going to go through here what she did during the Red Army faction time. She did bank robberies, bombings, kidnapping, well, all the things that they usually do. But it didn't take all too long until Meinhof was captured by the authorities. Let's read here what her charges was. Let's read here. Let's read her charges, which is joined by the other leaders of the Red Army faction, or the other creators of the Red Army faction. They have 4 counts of murder, 54 attempts of murder, and 1 single count of forming a criminal association. And with those allegations, she got 8 years imprisonment. Now, she did not survive those 8 years of imprisonment. Because, well, many reasons. One of the reasons were the prison wasn't actually good. Now, there are many rumors on exactly what happened in there. There were a hunger strike by the Red Army faction leaders, but I do actually buy the idea that it was very brutal in there. She died, 7,000 people came to her funeral. And different famous left-wing people wrote letters to her, comparing it to what the Nazis did. So she became a martyr for left-wing causes against the fascist government.